Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It depends on where you are joining me from. My name is Honorable Chris Ekomeme, the host and the convener of the Media Space Roundtable discussion. And this afternoon, my special guest is no other person than Comrade Brimo Haruna. Any moment from now, he's going to be joining us. And we are going to have an exciting time, an exciting topic that we're going to be discussing. Make no mistake, I want you to participate with me through the comment charts. And I also want you to join us in the discuss. Is going to, Honorable Brimo is connecting with me right away, and we are going to be discussing an exciting topic. A very powerful topic that I felt every one of us should be part of. If you're joining me from Europe, from America, from Asia, or from Nigeria, the topic of tonight or this morning or this afternoon is simple. A deep dive into Governor Ogbebolo response on Edo South Africa returnees. And my special guest is no other person than Honorable Brimo, the special advisor on public affairs and media to the governor of Edo State. Honorable Brimo, can you hear me loud and clear, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I want you to greet our audience that are joining us from around the world while we begin to dive into the topic of today. Talk to us, sir.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And being a call to duty, I have to connect even when I'm on the road. You can see I'm in the car. I have to park so that we can have this done. It's about Edo people. It's about telling the world the effort of the Ogbebolo administration in trying to deliver services, stewardship, and good governance to the people. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right, good to have you on board, sir. The governor just appointed you as the special advisor on public affairs and media. I think, let me once again congratulate you because this is long overdue. And this we see as a great milestone to the government of Edo State because you are very outspoken, you are a good representative, and it has to do with anything that concerns Edo State. Just recently, there has been South African citizen telling other nations to return back to their country. And Nigeria is not an exception. And you and I know that so many Nigerians have been stranded. And we are excited with the milestone and with the achievement that the governor of Edo State has achieved. Not only making sure that these Edos are returned back, he also makes sure on the spot 1 million naira was given to each and every one of them. Not also that, he's also trying his best to see that these Edolites are properly settled in Edo State. Let's discuss this, please. Let's talk about it.
All right. The South Africa experience or the xenophobic attack in South Africa that has led foreigners exiting the country is quite unfortunate. Nigeria, South Africa, even some South African countries like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and Tanzania and other countries within their region there, they are also affected, but adversely it affected Nigeria because we are much anywhere we go. We are very creative people. We are dexterous. We are productive, and we are very ambitious people. So beyond xenophobic attack was the fact that South Africans have always seen Nigerians as threats. I'm bringing it home. The His Excellency Governor Monday Okpebholo administration, first of all, it's not about receiving them. It has a policy that deals with anybody, anything Edo. Whether you are in diaspora, whether you are outside Nigeria, whether you are in outside the state of Edo State, or you are even within Benin, he feels and believes that as far as he is the governor, he is your governor, wherever you are. So when any need arises for you to discharge his duty and responsibility of governance that will influence and affect you positively, he does it. So it's not so special to him, but it just comes to expose his level of leadership empathy, his level of not just being in charge. There's one thing to be in charge. Leadership is not all about being in charge. Leadership is about how do you take care of those that are in your charge. You understand? He has a duty of care to take care of people that have entrusted their votes to him. So it's general, it's cut across, whether you are in Nigeria here, in Edo, whether you live in Abuja, you are from Edo, whether you are in Lagos, whether you are in diaspora. There's the diaspora office of the Diaspora Commission. There's the immigration office that deals with all this. There's the trafficking office. Every other person. There are persons that have been returned from Libya. He created the similar opportunities for them and similar attention, you know. And the Hebrew is some of his lofty programs across education that has to do with bursary. You don't need to be in Edo State. As far as you originate, you are from Edo State and you are schooling somewhere and you verify, you can also benefit from the bursary. It's not about, to him, leadership for Edo people is for Edo people anywhere you are. So it's not limited. But why this is unique is because of the circumstance that surround the returnees and the fact that he's the only governor. If you watch what Ruben Abatin of Arise TV have to say, you know, that this is the first governor across 36 states. There are other persons that belong to different states among these. You understand? But this is the only governor that has taken the bull by the hand and said, these people are for me. They belong to Edo State. We should not just welcome them, we should reintegrate them. And the best form of reintegration is to motivate them. How do you motivate them? Financial motivation, creating the environment for them to operate in. He even told them in that gathering that with the money you have spent in gathering your visa and everything, with an enabling environment like with a good government in place, such money can be used. Imagine there was a governor like Okpebholo before who is creating the environment for your business to thrive. What reason would one give apart from traveling for vacation or for business reason or for professional occupational mobility that will make one say I'm relocating totally to South Africa within the same African continent? So his lofty programs is encouraging and is giving them that confidence and is going forward to say it's not just about my program. You can benefit in this way. First of all, use the 1 million naira to put yourself on the ground because shelter is very important. You need to have a roof over your head. You need to feed for now. You know, hold the 1 million. Even when we inculcate your activities, your respective business you are doing over there or whatever you do, there are different policies. There's the Bank of Industry and the Edo State government loan scheme. There's the 1 billion trader scheme. There are different initiatives of the government that have been helping the SME where they can all benefit soft loan and grant from.
All right, Honorable Brian Haruna. If you're just joining us, my name is Honorable Chris Ekomeme, the host and the convener of the roundtable discussion, where we discuss local, state, national, and global politics. I have with me the Special Advisor to Edo State Governor, Honorable Brian Haruna, the Special Advisor on Public Affairs and Media to Edo State Governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo. Honorable Sir, let's discuss the SHINE agenda before we begin to dive into security and all of that. Can you please enlighten our global audience what the SHINE agenda is to Edo State and to the good people of Edo State, sir?
Yeah, SHINE, as in the meaning of shine, means for everything to crystallize in a very beautiful way and a beautiful manner. And for something to shine, it also means it need to go through the funnel of creativity, making process, the roughness that is involved in trying to be translate innovation to reality and all that. That is the definition of shine on its own. But the word shine is an acronym, as an agenda of the state government. It's an acronym of SHINE. All these words, all these alphabets standing on their own to mean specific agenda of the government. S stands for security, H stands for health, I stands for infrastructure, N stands for nutrition, and E stands for education. These acronyms alphabetically become the focal point, become the drivers, become the vision of what Governor Modi administration wants to achieve in the next 4 to 8 years, as the case may be. So the security aspect is not new because a lot is already going on in that aspect. He took it head on because coming to the office, we were already having a lot regarding security, kidnapping, header shaman's crisis and all that, you know. After some time, we have to sit down to rejig the entire system of security infrastructure in the state. We realized that there is need for people to be empowered in that regard. It gave two approaches to security. We call it the kinetic and the non-kinetic approach. The kinetic approach is the normal one. Okay, this person is a criminal, let it be heard, let it be this. The non-kinetic, the other approach is talking about how do you create the environment to empower these people. Because when people are, when they are empowered, when you have environment for you to thrive, to be employed, to be engaged, and engaged mind, they say the idle mind is the devil's workshop. What policies of government do we need to be in place? Where are we lacking workforce? How do we bring more workforce to the civil service? Where are we lacking policy director to open environment for investors to come in so that they can also help to engage these idle minds to also reduce security? So that is the carrot and cane approach that is using. On the cane approach, he has gone further, first of all, to equip to rearrange the security apparatus in the state, where you now have a joint security operative talking about the DSS, the civil defense, the police, the army, and now enlarge Edo security ESN, the Edo security network. You know, you have to rearrange them, expand their program, and equip them. It's not just to recruit people; you needed to equip them. The first set, he delivered on about 100 hill losses because they need vehicular movement to do their thing. They need equipment. They need weapons. You know, a lot of investment, drones investment has all been done. And then the peculiar nature of the insecurity, owing to the fact that some of these kidnapping happen in the forest, they kidnap somebody from the city and take to the forest. There are some terrain that these vehicles cannot go through. As at the last count, he has deployed more than 700 security mobile bikes, where equipped with gadgets to also assist. And when all this is now complementing the effort of the Nigerian police force, the joint security system that they also operate, then we now begin to find the result now. The result we are seeing today did not just start because you also have to give it an institutional design by saying, okay, what are the enabling laws? We have law against kidnapping. How broadened is this law? How expanded is this law? Does this law make drastic and definite provisions that will curb that gives rise to consequences as far as this security is concerned, and to tame it? He reviewed it and expanded on it, took it to the State House of Assembly, got it passed and signed, and then because he is the executive, his own is to initiate a bill, executive bill. It is the legislator's responsibility to review the bill and pass it to law. And it now go back to him to implement the bill. That is real leadership. Because most times in Nigeria, we create law and make laws. There are no leadership zeal, leadership guts to drive and implement some of these laws. That is what has become some of our pain. Our problem is not necessarily laws. We have a lot of laws that will change any country in the world, but we don't have the political will, the political leadership. Whoever is in the aim of affair is always shying away from doing the right thing to implement what they have said or what they have written. So this is where the His Excellency Governor Monday Okpebholo is making a difference in Edo State. So far, so good in that regard. That is for the security, and the effort is not. It is not yet. Uhuru, we cannot be shouting Eureka, Eureka at this moment. It's a continuous, because as I said in one of the fora, his philosophy is Kaizen, it's a Japanese term, which means changes for continuous improvement. He believes that everything he has achieved today can be improved upon for a better result for tomorrow. So it's continuing, and he created a special security task force that is covering court killings and kidnapping right there in the government house. That is on their own, also doing their own bit. So everything is now complementing with a synergy, administrative synergy, policy synergy, and with himself being in charge, making sure that everything, even providing them with motivation. You saw what happened the day when he visited the kidnap suspect that were arrested, the kidnappers that attempted the kidnapping a vegetable market. You know, at the end of the day, he gave them 10 million right there. That is another form of motivation. That is beyond the many support he's been giving to them and all that. I can make both to say that continuing this way in the next few years, we'll be seeing serious positive results as far as this government is concerned. That is for the security.
All right, we are going to dive into other aspects as we progress. If you just join me, my name is Honorable Chris A. Komeme, the convener, the host of the Media Space Roundtable Facebook Live with Honorable Chris A. Komeme. And my special guest this afternoon is no other person than the special advisor to Edo State Governor, Honorable Brahimon Haruna, special advisor on public affairs and media. It was J.F. Kennedy that said, do not think of what your nation will do for you, but think of what you are going to do for your nation. When Senator Monday Okpebholo came aboard, many people never gave him a chance. There was a school of thought that said he's not going to do well. There was some school of thought that said he doesn't know how to speak English, he doesn't know how to do this. But Senator Monday Okpebholo is beginning to prove to the people that he can speak good English. Not only can he speak good English, he also believes in seamless governance. Just a few days ago, I watched the news. It was AIT that carried the news. Yeah, how some young people went to the the ongoing flyover that is being constructed by the executive governor of Edo State. For the first time, flyover in Edo State. We've had previous governors in the past that were not able to do all of this. And to them, it became a tourist attraction. This brings me to my next question. Honorable Special Advisor, sir. Do you think that Senator Monday Okpebholo is doing well when it comes to road infrastructure? Is he just concentrating in Benin City, the capital city alone, or he's been able to traverse to make sure that this road construction also go to Edo South, Edo North, and Edo Central? The people at the local level, are they feeling the impact of what the governor is doing as he has to do with road infrastructure?
Yeah, that brings me to though we're supposed to, under the shine agenda, the I, talks about infrastructure development. And infrastructure is not limited to road, Infrastructure is not limited to flyover. Infrastructure cut across every sectoral discharge in Edo State. And that is why in the budget of Hope and Growth that he made, His Excellency made this year for 2026, he allocated almost 70% of the total budget to infrastructure, economy, and co, which means that the entire economy need to be revived infrastructure-wise. The health sector we are building infrastructure. More than 78 PAC primary health center are ongoing across the 192 wards and 80 local governments in Edo State. That's our infrastructure. If you talk about the school, when it came to power, the education aspect, it first of all reviewed the entire Edo Best program that was flooded with fraud, where $75 million were fitted away without any result in the last administration. In fact, records show that only $5 million was released from that money. Till tomorrow, that is a story for another day. Let's concentrate here. And it felt that you cannot drive any education policy program better in a school that does not have infrastructure. Most of the schools had no roofs. Even during campaign, some of those schools were being shown to the whole world. And when it came to power, he made a directive, an executive directive, and mandated the then Subebe chairman and later commissioner of education, Dr. Pade Iyamoda, let's embark on reconstruction, renovation, and remodeling of 100 schools. Why did they use those terms? Because some of the schools that even exist does not have security arrangement. There were no perimeter fences, no toilets, no whatever, like the one in America, the secondary school there, school 1 and school 2, the people in that area hoodlums turned it to a den of their meetings. Some turned it to toilet. Some part of that school was turned to refuse dump. You look at the one that was at Rama Park, the Army Day Secondary School, was already almost swallowed up with erosion, devastation, and most of the children have to leave the school. They were desolate. Look at the Egba Grammar School, Lot 1 and Lot 2. Egba Grammar School, model local government. These are not really in Benin. Look at the one in Ovia. Look, so far, a lot of schools across, even in Edo North, in my village, in Ebiena, Fesa, TBA, Esako West local government, some about 3 in Iyanokodi, if you quit in Esako East local government, again about that area, in the Obaka, the list goes on and on. The 100 schools will be delivered very soon because we are almost hitting that target. In Nile, in Akos school, in Uromi, Ira, Udomi, and Co. These are all infrastructure. Infrastructure is not just limited to road. But if we drive it to road, it has this policy Z that when you open up the economy, the best way to practically open up the economy is not to make policy pronouncement. It's not to be signing MOU that we are bringing foreign investors. What if these foreign investors come to invest in your state? There are no infrastructure. What if these companies come to build refinery, come to build this, come to build that? These things are not built in the city. They are built in industrial area or in the locality where the raw materials are. What if there are no roads to access these raw materials? So the best way, the basic of actually development to your state is to open up the road infrastructure. And that's why he has embarked on massive road construction. As at the last count, we are about 500 kilometers in road infrastructure length across the length and breadth of the 18 local government in Edo State. 500 kilometers, that is unprecedented in the history of Edo State. That's why you are seeing roads across everywhere. The roads are not limited to Edo South. We have roads in Umode, even starting from the former governor's village. He has construction road to his village because there was no accessible road to the Obaseki's village before. We have in Irwa, we have in Uromi, we are across from Auchi to Ibilo right now. The Akoko Edo local government, the road construction is ongoing. In Ugeda, about 6 road construction are ongoing in South Ibia community, Ugeda, in Esako West local government. No local government that is not touching. He believes that opening up the rural area or the Longo will spur up the economy and also stop the issue of urbanization. Urbanization has a problem on its own because it causes rural-urban drift. Everybody wants to run from the rural area and put pressure in the urban area. But when the social amenities that you are looking for in the urban area are now in your rural area, when the economy is now open, when this infrastructure is not open in your area and you cannot do business conveniently, you have security, you have good roads and access to hospital, health centers that are being built about 78 primary health centers, then you want to stay and do your business in your village or in your rural area or in your local government, thereby reducing the pressure in the city and thereby balancing the microeconomic synergy of the state. So the road infrastructure is not limited to Benin, it's cut across.
All right. The road infrastructure is not limited to Benin, it's cut across. If you are watching us live, please drop your question in the comment box. I will take your question one by one and also indicate where you are watching us from. We already have questions. We're going to take them one by one. This is 60 minutes with Honorable Chris Ekomeme, Facebook Live roundtable discussion. And my special guest tonight is no other person than Honorable Brian Haruna, the special advisor to Edo State Governor on public affairs and media. And I'm so excited that he is a man that knows his onions. And tonight, or this afternoon, or this morning, it depends on where you're watching us from, the topic is simple. A deep dive into Governor Ogbamolo's response on Edo South Africa returns. I have a question on the chat box, sir. Someone said, Philip from Europe said, please, example of which school and how many schools has the governor constructed so far? The second question, what is the current level of completion? And when can residents expect the project to be commissioned? That is, it has to do with the flyover. This one is been asked by Deborah Izogi. I pray I got it right. So we have two questions. One from Philip from Europe asking, how many schools have the governor constructed since he came into office? Going to 2 years now. And the other question from Deborah, when are we expecting for the flyover to be completed, sir? Talk to us, sir.
All right. Let me respond to the first. Let me respond to the first question by Philip. Maybe Philip did not join when I started naming some of those schools, you know. And when I said that he embarked on 100, you know, to mark his 100 days in office, he approved the construction, reconstruction, remodeling, and renovation of about 100 schools. And the ones I can measure up as, because we'll be posting all this on social media, on Twitter, the names and the pictures and even videos of the schools. I measure the Ivareke Secondary School. I measure the Egba Grammar School, Lot 1 and Lot 2. I measure the Ako Primary School. I measure the Ile 1 and Ile 2 schools in Edo Central. I mentioned the one in Yanopodia, the one in Ivukwa in Esako, East Local Government. I mentioned Ibinafe Secondary School in Ibinafe Sati Esako, West Local Government, you know, and I mentioned the Amide Secondary School that was even, it went viral on video, you know, Ivareke, you know, like that, the one in Ovia. All this went viral on videos, and so far I can say that more than 16 of these schools have been completed, remodeled, and even the girls' school, the one in Upper Mission, the Upper Mission side. What is the name of that school? There's a school after you left New Benin, going towards Upper Mission by your right. The school there has also been remodeled and reconstructed and handed over to the Oredo Girls Secondary School too, has been remodeled and reconstructed with perimeter fence. And the one in Ekenwa Barrack, Ekenwa Road, the Army Barrack in Ekenwa Road was remodeled and reconstructed. The list goes on and on. Across the local government, I can count about more than 60. So that is it. But the target is 100 for a start. We're not resting. It's not. His Excellency is not resting in his hours. Like I said, it is not yet time to shout Eureka, you know. But at least we are not where we used to be. To answer the question of Madam Deborah Israel, he said because some of these projects, like these schools are measured and have been completed, have already been commissioned and put in use. A lot of commissioning of projects has been going on. If we go to the agri sector, you saw where the Minister of FCT has been to Edo State twice to commission projects. When the governor delivered about 100 tier rubber buses and revamped the entire new Edo line. Edo line has been moribund since even before 2016, and has been abandoned to waste. And he revived it as a public operation to let the world know that as a government, you have your first course of objective is to do business. Government can also do business if you have the mind, the leadership quality of having sincerity of purpose. He has revived Edo Line. It was commissioned by Wike, and in the same agricultural sector, for the first time in the last 10 years, before he's coming to power, Edo State Ministry of Agriculture never had a single tractor to work. I'm talking of farm implements, farm tractors, and all that. And you saw when Wike also come to commission about more than 50 tractors that have been delivered and put to use across the local government. So some of these roads that they have constructed, like the one in the South TBA, the 6 roads in Ogeda community, South TBA in Isaka West local government, about 4 of them have been completed. No commissioning will happen after the 6th road have fully been completed, because the other 2 of the roads are ongoing. The Ibilo road from Ikbeshi down to Igara to Ibilo to connect to the road that connect between Isha and Okene from the other end of Ondo State. It's ongoing, it's almost near completion. And the road that goes to the former speaker at Joto's village from the same Akoko Edo local government has been done and commissioned. So commissioning has been ongoing directly or indirectly, because this project have been put to use. But there's going to be a formal compendium, maybe to mark his 2nd year in office in November, where even the flyover will be commissioned. The flyover is almost like 95% completion now. That is why it has to be blocked from unnecessary distraction from the enthusiasts and those citizens who have, for the first time in history, Edo State, Benin as a kingdom is more than 2,000 years ago, because the era of Igodomigodo ended in the 11th century, when Benin was already, as at that time Benin was called Igodomigodo, it was already 1,000 years by the 11th century. Wow. So when Benin became from the 11th century to date, it's more than another 1,000. They've never seen a flyover of. And I made bold to tell the world that this is the longest flyover in Nigeria that is being constructed by a state government. I'm not talking of the federal. I'm talking of the longest flyover in Nigeria being undertaken by a state government, and it's not limited to flyover. Another one is ongoing in Adesuwa Junction, in Saple Road. Another one is springing up very soon at the Dancy Junction, connecting Ababava First and Mission Road.
All right, thank you so very much, Special Advisor. We have a lot to discuss just in 60 minutes. We have about 27 minutes for this show to come to an end. Another question I want to ask before I ask the question. It is so painful. Edo State, Benin as a kingdom, this is the first time that they are experiencing a flyover to be built by state government. What an error. What an abomination. What an aberration. It ought not to be so. I often tell people, it is not the years you spend in government that matters, but it is the level of impact you are able to bring about, that the citizens are able to enjoy, that really matters. It has nothing to do with the duration you spend on it. By that I mean, it has nothing to do with the years you spend on it. It has something to do with the donation. That is the impartation. I tell people that cares to listen, you will not always be in government. Whether you are a president, whether you are a commissioner, whether you are a governor, whether you are an SA, SSC. But what matters is the impact you are able to bring about once you're there. My name still remains the convener and the host of the Media Space Roundtable discussion, where we discuss local, state, national, and global politics. And next Sunday, we're going to be discussing a great topic. Is INEC ready for 2027 election? Do you think that the war between Iran and US will not lead to World War III? You can't afford to mix next Sunday edition. It's going to be so exciting. It's going to be so powerful. So I want you to fasten your seatbelt, because I'm going to be bringing in guest speakers to this show. Comrade Phil is going to be my guest next Sunday, a national leader per excellence, a global entrepreneur with so depth. If you're just joining us, my guest this evening is no other person than Comrade Haruna Brimo, the special advisor on Please I'm Coming, I'm trying to check the chat box to check whether we still have some questions there. All right, I will attend to some of the questions any moment from now. The special advisor on public affairs and media to Edo State Governor, Senator Modiokpebu. Special advisor, sir. We were made to understand that Edo State Governor has set up a special court to try cultists and kidnappers. That if they are found wanting, are they going to be facing firing squad on hanging in Ring Road? That is number one question. Number two, is the governor right by demolishing the landlord's house because a tenant was found to be a kidnapper and a cultist? Do you think the third question now, do you think that innocent people are not going to be found wanting in this special court that the governor has set up, sir? Quickly attend to these three questions. Why I take one or two questions from the chat box and we begin to round out this program, sir.
All right. As provided in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Edo State Governor has the right. He is the one that is not the one that is setting the court up directly, but he has the right to use the instrument of the Constitution to request for a special court to be provided through the two ways, either through a judicial process by requesting from the state judiciary headed by the Chief Justice of the state, and through the House of Assembly, which that has been done. He went through the legal process to get the special court. The essence of the special court is to hasten process of prosecution and conviction, because some of these criminals, some of them are wallowing in detention as a remand because their case have not been heard. Some get because of the corrupt system that is operate within the criminal handling stuff. To avoid all those things, the governor wanted a situation, but their process is hasty because some of them are released with hand pointing at different quarters that you may not understand. And some of them have been there for so long without some even convicted, without the government, the former government, having the boss, the leadership zeal to actually do the needful to sign their warrant of either jail term or death warrant, so that they are executed and they move on to the next. So the essence of setting up that is to hasten the process and give a very, very sharp approach that is temporary, because the same law, it's not breaching any law in any way. Even the process of prosecution that is ongoing, the suspect that have been arrested, the vegetable market suspect, have been tried. Even before the vegetable market suspect trial, there was the three suspected kidnappers that were arrested. They have been charged with kidnapping and rape, because they raped their victim, which was allegedly confirmed. The prosecution of these two sets of cases is ongoing. Even as at Wednesday this week, they appeared again, you know. So, and the prosecutor of the state prosecutor, through the Attorney General of the state, is doing his best in that regard. A Commissioner for Justice, I must use this opportunity to commend him. Our elder statesman too is doing his best in that regard to ensure hasty process for conviction. And I bet you that once any conviction is made, prosecution is completed, conviction, whether it's in sentencing and it's conviction by capital punishment, I'm assuring you that His Excellency, the governor of the state, Senator Modiokpebu, is not that kind of leader that will allow criminals to derail his administration, goodwill or zeal to deliver on good governance. He will sign the sentence, no matter which side, whose horse is God. And talking about, I think you made mention of the tenant lawyer, the tenant landlord issue as provided in the laws, because when these laws have been debated, they have been passed, it's not a law in Edo State. It's not longer a news that naturally it is expected of us a duty of responsibility of diligence, that whoever you want to deal with, even in a business, you need to do what is called due diligence. Due diligence is part of our legal process. It's an expectation even in our contractual dealings with people. Because, and the tenancy law, the tenancy law and the tenants landlord relationship. It's also a contractual agreement. They go into an agreement. In an attempt to do that, you ought to know the kind of tenants. You have to do your background check. Even when you want to open your bank account today, there's what is called KYC, know your customer. You do a background check on the person that is even opening an account with a bank that is going to bring money. So why don't you also try to inquire, make inquest into the personality, lifestyle, and professional engagement of the person that is coming to live in your house? So it's a responsibility by law. It's not that the government is hating on anybody. It's not limited to tenants. Even if you allow your hotel, because when you want to go into a hotel today, you fill your form, they ask many questions, you state your profession. It is the responsibility of the hotel to also confirm from what you have stated. The phone number you put there, they need to confirm a lot of things. If they observe any skirmish or any act of violence or any indecent way of acting within the hotel, it is their responsibility to even call on to raise the alarm to the management and to inform the state government. That is even for the hotel or apartment. It's not limited to houses or personal houses. It's worldwide that security is a responsibility of everybody. And to do it effectively is to collaborate with the government. Instead of you to wait till the end when the crime, your property is being used to harbor criminals, kidnappers, killers, murderers, and you now begin to play to the gallery, the emotional gallery, to blackmail the system. There's already a law in place. Follow the law. If you have existing tenant in your property, you are an hotelier, you are an apartment owner, whatever this is the right time to begin to do your due diligence of know your customer, know your clients, know your tenants. KYC, KYC again, and KYT.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends on where you're joining us from. This is the roundtable discussion with Honorable Chris Ekomeme, where we discussed about local, state, national, and global politics. The special advisor to Edo State Governor on Public Affairs and media is my special guest today. We have some questions from the chat. Philip said, these schools that you have enumerated as being constructed or being built by Edo State Governor, are they brand new schools or are they renovated buildings?
Okay, let me attend to it quick. I don't want to forget anything. Like I said in the program in the beginning, I said that the Edo State government embarked on 100 schools at the inception of this government for reconstruction, renovation, or remodeling. So the state of the school, we have what is called need analysis. Before His Excellency Governor Mondo embark on any project, he does what is called need analysis. What is the need of this project? So the project itself, if the school is in total dilapidation, there's no need of renovating what is done before. It does what is called total reconstruction. That means it bringing a new school in that particular, a new building in that particular environment. If the nature of the dilapidation means they need renovation, there are some schools that were just there without perimeter fencing totally. So you are totally revamping the fencing and security arrangement. Some never had water or toilet. That means you are going to build fresh. You are not just reconstructing school. You are going to be building additional compartment that have to do with bedroom, toilet, and putting a PC borehole in those schools. So it's just depend on the need of the particular project.
It depends on the need. It depends on the need of the particular project. All right, Deborah said, what message would you like to send to Edo residents who are enduring temporary conveniences while these projects are ongoing, especially the construction, the second flyover at Adesua? I remember there was a time when it fell, residents were complaining about flood and all of that. What message do you have for residents who are currently going through challenges with the convenience of this road construction?
Yeah, the message is of two aspects. We should know that development, a river does not flow through a forest without bringing down trees. That is the saying of our elders. When a river flows through a forest, it will bring a tree, but it will create a path for the river to be flowing normally. And that bringing down trees is always the inconvenient part. We are all begging, we are soliciting the elderly. They should remember where we are coming from. In that same Sapele Road, it's a two issue in the Sapele Road. There was total collapse of the Benin Sapele Road that was never attended to. The former administration fixed the signboard and said the road belongs to federal government. And those people should bear with him. And they bear with him for 8 years that it is federal government responsibility to fix the road. But now we have a government whom, as at February 2025, took himself to Abuja and went to see Mr. President. Had meeting with Mr. President, had meeting with the Minister of Works and said, hand over the road for me. So that I don't want any contract to be slow because it's also considering the endurance nature, the pain of the people. It's needing rapid response arrangement whereby job will be ongoing on that road. There has not been positing of funds. It does not want a situation whereby they said so money is abandoned. Those that were complaining, the initial complainant around Satana Market today, they are smiling because that part of the road is done. Those that were complaining around the bypass area, they are smiling today because that part of the road is done. No, I think we are now past Ogege. We are going to Obayato side. I've gone through the road. It's massive. It's wonderful. But the construction of the flyover is also to ease the, because remember that the Benin Sapele Road is also a gateway road to the south side. That's where you go through to Sapele, Warri, Ugeli, Port Harcourt, and Bayelsa River, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom. So the pressure on that road is going to be much. And for those people coming from Upper Sakoba, connected to Maize Junction, trying to access Adesuwa to GRO area, is going to be hectic for them. And the government quickly have to have that thought that, okay, it's not just about constructing the main express road that has been in dilapidation for over 10 years. Let us quickly construct this major flyover to also curb the pressure of traffic and pains for the future. So His Excellency's thinking is already for the future, and it's creating the good parties. It's already building adjoining roads right now. If you go through the road, you see adjoining streets are being, so that when you are facing some inconvenience, there are adjoining streets that you can go through and still connect to the main town. And it's still appealing on a daily basis. Almost every week, it goes on that road to share with the people, to tell them, for them to realize that it's not just doing the project, it's monitoring the progress of the project, and it's ensuring that there is rapid response for the project to be delivered on time. And on behalf of the state government and the governor, I will also say that it is a time for us to just endure that little pain, so that on the long run, all of us will shout, Eureka, Eureka.
It is a time for us to enjoy the little pain, so that at the long run, all of us will shout, Eureka, Eureka. All right, thank you, Honorable Special Advisor. Another question here, sir, is, we that labor in this government, what is our fate? That is by Rita. Maybe she was one of those that campaigned. Maybe she was one of those that campaigned for this government to come into being. Maybe she has not been compensated. She's asking, what is their fate? Talk to us before I move to the next question.
All right. Chris, first of all, political participation is different from voting. You vote to expect, you carry your power, your franchise. The Constitution has empowered you with what is called franchise, the right for you to vote, to select and choose who should provide leadership for you. And what is this leadership all about? Deliver a good governance, drive policy that will create an environment for you to now bring either your talent, your professionalism, your craftsmanship, your handwork, everything to thrive personally. Everybody cannot be in government. Everybody can be in government by benefiting from the policy directions of the government. I will advise that we, who are the core APC members, I've been in this trenches since 2000. I've been a member of the APC since creation, from ACN to APC. You know, I've continuously been doing what I'm doing. I leverage on policies, and I will encourage my sister that even after this program, you can also get my number. There are a lot of policy programs of Edo State government that she can benefit from. You know, the government does not really have the full room to engage everybody. More than 8,000 teachers have been engaged. They don't need to be APC members. So far, they are Edo citizens. These same people were hitherto abandoned. They were regarded as contract staff for the Edo Best program. They were being paid 39,000 as contract staff. And His Excellency said, let me absorb them. 1,000, more than 1,000 health workers under the Edo State Health Management Agency have been engaged. More than 300 clerical staff in government house. They were cleaners, they were gardeners, they were gatemen and all those. They were all outsourced. They were never civil servants. The Edo State government has also absorbed all that, and the list goes on and on. Right now, the Edo State Inland Revenue Service has also been doing some engagement and all that. Yes, in as much as the government is enlarging and its bureaucratic network to deliver on productivity and good governance as promised to the people, the government is also creating policies for those who you don't need to be a graduate to participate in governance. The best way to participate in government is to be able, through platform like this, we churn out the policies of government. You go through it. The one that is affecting you, you are a local farmer. We have the Fadama Care program that is empowering farmers across the rural area. How do you benefit? We'll let you know. We have the Edo State Trader Money of 1 billion. That is another one is coming very soon, even with the support of another 1 billion from the wife of the president, Oluremi Tinubu. All these local people who are traders, they belong to the Nano Group. They may not have the capacity to register SME company or have small businesses to operate. All these people will also, you key into it, ask questions, belong to a platform like this, take advantage of these opportunities, and we encourage you and we do our best to make sure we enlighten you. That is why I'm here as Special Advisor on Public Affairs. Mine is to also always disseminate and spread the information direction of the government so that every Edo citizen can directly or indirectly. You may not have directly be appointed as you work for the party. You may indirectly benefited even more than those that have been appointed. It all depends on how you leverage and take advantage of the policy direction. Even the back of industry SME support, we have some billions there too. Maybe subsequently we'll still do another program to enlighten Edo State on how to approach those that are on the SME level. The back of industry office in Edo State. I've already spoken with the Edo State officer that we have to meet to know, because the assessment, accessibility of the loan has been very dull. More than less than 30% have not been able, just less than 30% have assessed it over 2 years. The response is not there because of probably because of poor enlightenment. And that is why the governor has deemed it fit that these programs and policy direction should not be limited to how many roads, how many hospitals, and how many schools he has built. It also have to be about how many policy direction is created to benefit. For those that are in school, we have the scholarship program, we have this bursary program, we have the NER fund. Edo State is one of the least in Nigeria today that is benefiting from the National Education Fund created by President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. For you to ease education, because no proper enlightenment. The other day, the governor was frowning at one of the higher institutions in Edo State. Why are students not taking advantage? We have Federal Polytechnic in Auchi, we have USE Polytechnic, we have AAU, we have a university in Iyamo, we have a Unibe, we have other private schools in Edo State. You can take advantage of the NER fund link. I've also shared with the convener of this program as a student. The government is saying, with collaboration from state and federal government, access NER fund to be educated. Education is the bedrock upon which every other growth and development, as far as human capital is concerned, can be achieved.
Thank you, Special Advisor. Let me take the last question before we begin to round up. The roundtable discussion with Honorable Chris Ekomeme lasts for 60 minutes. That's 1 hour. Next Sunday is going to be another one. On this show, we're going to be bringing in commissioners, special advisors. We're looking forward to bringing the governor of Edo State and other state governors. We're looking forward to bringing entrepreneurs. We're looking forward to bringing in industrialists. We're looking forward to bringing in global icon. We're looking forward to bringing in brand ambassadors to several other big brands. The last question for this show is simple, sir. Which area of the Constitution that give the governor the right to destroy suspect properties before they are found guilty? And if they are not found guilty after the investigation, what happened to the property that is being destroyed?
First of all, I did not mention the Constitution. There is already an existing law in Edo State. There is a kidnapping and courtesy prohibition law as amended already in place. No doubt and no peace. Your responsibility as a citizen is to abide by the law. The law was not passed by the government. The law was initiated by the governor, and it was passed by the legislators, whom we all appointed across the respective constituency. There's no local government in Edo State today without 2 or 3 House of Assembly members. They are your representative. Everybody have come together to deem it fit. This is not about destroying the house. This is about the failure. The destruction of the house of a landlord is the failure on the part of the landlord or the owner of the property to do what is expected in law. There is caveats, emptor, beware. When you want to give your property to somebody, the law says you should beware. I talk about contract law, tenancy agreement law, all those things. The need for you to do due diligence. That is where the law is. The status law is not constitution. We have status law, we have law of status. We have state laws. They don't have to be constitution. We have enactment of the National Assembly. We have enactment of the State House of Assembly. They all constitute laws. Even you as a father, the rules you make in your house becomes law and binding upon your children. Thank you.
All right, thank you so very much. If you're just joining us, my name is Honorable Chris Ekomeme, the convener of the Media Space Roundtable Discussion, Facebook Live. And with me in the last couple of minutes, almost an hour now, is the
sorry, Chris. Chris. Let me expand on what I was saying.
I will bring you up again for your closing remark so that you can do all the expansions, sir. I'll do that.
Okay.
With me tonight, this afternoon, this morning, in the person where you're joining us from, is Honorable Haruna Braimah, Special Advisor on Public Affairs and Media to Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo. It has been a healthy moment, a robust discussion. I started by telling us it is not the years you spend on there that really matters. But what matters is the level of impartation you're able to bring about whilst you're there. Are you a senator, senate well? Are you a member of the House of Representatives, a governor, a commissioner, a special advisor? Govern well. Because you won't always be there. What will you be remembered for when you are long gone? People take political power as if it is going to be permanent. Political power is transient. You won't always be there. Whilst you are there making part. Before we bring this meeting to a close, next Sunday is going to be another powerful moment. And my special guest is not another person that can reveal. We've been discussing on the topic, how ready is INEC for the 2027 general election in Nigeria? Do you think the war between Iran and US/Israel is not going to lead to World War III? Let me bring aboard again my special guest, the special advisor to the governor of Edo State on Public Affairs and Media, Honorable Haruna Braimah. Your closing remarks and what advice you have for the South African returnees whose life have been transformed by the governor. What advice you have for other state governors that have refused to rise to the occasion to come to the rescue of their citizens that have been stranded in South Africa? The mic is yours, sir, in the next 3 minutes.
All right, thank you, Chris. To expand on what I was saying regarding the landlord and property owners versus the possible criminals relationship. The law has also provided that who harbors criminals in their respective properties, there are terms of conviction. So it's not just about destroying the house. That is why we should take it serious. There was a particular case where near a kidnap and ritual killing was done. The suspect butchered the kidnapped victim, however way he took the girl to the house of parents. He lives in one side of the property within the same compound, and the parent live in the other side. And the parent even, I think, admitted that they know that he's been into all sorts of crimes, and he butchered the girl, took some of those parts, and private part and other whatever part he needed for whatever issue, and he went to Lagos. He was caught in Lagos and brought to the compound to show where he buried the victim, the dismembered body of the victim, and all that, And just imagine parents knowing the level of the criminal level of their child. The first thing you should do if you suspect any of your tenants is to either report to the nearest police station or don't give your property to such person. If you have any reason to doubt or suspect the profiling, do a profiling on your tenants or on the person you are dealing with. That's why I gave you instances of even our hotels in Benin profile their clients or their customers. Let's first of all abide by the law. We are talking about conviction. A man that is that's caught in the act is already just waiting for confirmation from the courts. And the law says killing and kidnap. You may be a kidnapper and you are not a killer. If you are found that if you are prosecuted and it is found that you did not kill anybody, you are just a kidnapper, there are jail terms for you. It's also in the law. But your activity, the consequences of your activity is what the state government is talking about. The consequences of your activity is causing issues for the state, is debilitating and dragging back the good policy direction of the state, is causing regression in the environment, both for economy to thrive, for social activities to thrive, and even for the peaceful coexistence of the people. And it is the responsibility of government and governors anywhere in the world, primarily to protect the lives and property of the citizens. Now, I want to advise talking about the returnees from South Africa. It's a gesture from the governor that is pathetic. It's a gesture from the governor that has taken showing act of leadership kindness and taking it to the level of state policy. It's a state policy in Edo State. It's level of leadership kindness. It may not be able to cater for everybody, but it will provide everything that government, it will try within the next 8 years, by the grace of God, if given the second term, to provide everything that is needed for the people of Edo State, at least to some extent. But the one he has to do it better and best. Since this gesture has been given, has been granted, it's a privilege and opportunity for you guys that are back from South Africa to resettle yourself and take advantage of the windows. I've mentioned some of these windows, the respective grants and loans that are available under the government to spread up the microeconomies, family economy, rural economy, and what have you, for you to integrate yourself now. It's no longer the government has given you tools to integrate yourself. It now depends on how you utilize these tools. Don't go and spend the money anyhow or collect the grant and feel that it's government money. You use it for yourself for a better tomorrow. When the tomorrow is, the governor is now on, like, providing leadership for your tomorrow now. He has set the base for you to stand on. How much you are able, the capacity you have to be able to stand on that base is now what matters. So let's try to not disappoint ourselves, because you are not disappointing the government if you fail to take advantage of this to stand well. You are disappointing yourself. Let's not disappoint ourselves. Thank you very much.
What is your advice for other state governments whose citizens are stranded in South Africa that refuse to come to their rescue?
Yeah, it's already an eye-opening, just like Ruben Abati said on Arise TV. It's a challenge. We are pace setters. We are the heartbeat of Nigeria. We are not really surprised that we now have a governor who is actually living to that slogan of being a heartbeat. And I believe other state governors will take advantage. And I think Lagos state government is already doing something about it from what I read in the papers. And I think Imo State also, Hope Uzodimma, is doing something about it. And I hope other state governors are doing a lot, are going to key in and do either similar or in their own way. They can design policies that will bring these guys, not just bringing them back to the system, but reintegrate them back into the economy, to the system, the social level, and empower them. There's one thing to bring people back, there's another thing to empower them, to make them feel a sense of inclusivity. That is where Governor Modu Pewolo empathetic leadership. Look at what he did just a few days ago, making a visually impaired personnel of the civil service a permanent secretary, unprecedented. The other day, he made a physically challenged person a member of the board of one of the commissions. The other time, he had to give a commissioner position to somebody that is not from Edo State. All these are pointers to the fact that inclusiveness we need to drive big growth at the.
Thank you, sir. Until we meet again, be my guest again next Sunday. It's going to be an interesting conversation by 3 p.m. next Sunday. My guest next Sunday is Comrade Field, and the topic is simple: is INEC fully prepared for 2027 general election? Let's discuss the current war between Iran and US. Do you think this will lead to World War III? Until we meet again, my name is Honorable Chris Ekomeme, the convener of the Media Space Roundtable Discussion, Facebook Live. And my guest was no other person than Honorable Aruna Brimo, the Special Advisor on Public Affairs Media to Edo State Governor. You can share this live broadcast to other social media handles so that they will be able to watch it over and over again. You can also follow me up on Facebook, Honorable Chris Ekomeme. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Until we meet again next Sunday. And I promise us, I am going to be bringing great minds to this live broadcast. You aren't going to regret joining us. Bye-bye. Come, Honorable Brimo, sir. Good to see you again. I'm going to bring you again and again and again. Bye-bye, sir. Bye-bye, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
Yeah.